Hello all and welcome to Wild Crochet Designs. My name is Mary and in today's tutorial we are working on the gorgeous Stanley's Friendship Bracelet. Now if you don't know who Stanley is, guys, and you're just joining us new today, Stanley was, and don't get scared, Stanley was our bird-eating spider, and I say was because he's just passed away these past 3 or 4 weeks now, and I'm doing a little friendship bracelet in honor of him. Now we've had him for over 15 years, so he was with us a very long time, but you know. Anyway, that's the end of that. I don't want to get into it. Let's just start working on our gorgeous bracelet. What you will need will be your cotton. Now I'm using a Fiddlesticks cotton. It's called Wren, W-R-E-N. Now it is an 8-ply cotton, or a DK weight, or a number 3. Okay, and let's get a close up here. Got some little washing instructions there if you're interested. And it calls for a 4mm to a 4.5. Today we are using the 4mm crochet hook. Okay. And I'm saving some hair there for later. You will need very minimal yarn, I would say 2 to 3 grams. Seriously, you won't need a lot, guys. You won't need a lot. Now, we're only doing about 3 rows, okay? But you know, the first row is a little tricky, okay? So just be wary on that. The rest, very easy. It's not the row that's tricky. It's yours truly struggles to get inside the stitches here. And we worked in the back bump of our chains for this particular piece. Now, if you're not sure what that means, you will know that in just a moment. So you will need your 4mm hook, you will need those scissors, you will need 2 stitch markers. If you are new to crochet, my suggestion is to use 2 stitch markers, paper clips, piece of thread, whatever you have available. And you'll need a sewing needle. Don't use that one, it's way too small. I worked that out the hard way. But that's it, guys. At the end of our tutorial here for Stanley's Friendship Bracelet, I will be putting some footage up of Stanley. So just heads up, I will pre-warn you before that footage goes up. So just a heads up if you're frightened of spiders. This guy's huge. He's really big. Was huge. He was that big. Okay, so just a heads up there. And again, I will pre-warn you before that happens. In the meantime, let's get started creating our gorgeous Stanley's Friendship Bracelet. Good luck, everyone. Alrighty, guys, we're going to start off by making a quick slip knot, grabbing your tail end, wrap it around your finger once and twice, holding it there and holding it down there. Yeah. You're going to grab your back loop, passing it halfway over your finger, hold it there. Grab the other loop, passing it all the way over, pop your hook in, whoops, there, and just give it a tug, right, leaving yourself a nice long tail. Okay, so now you are chaining 33. So yarn over your hook, pull a loop through, that is a chain, 1. Yarn over, pull a loop through, 2. Let's get a little bit of a close-up, sorry about the fingers, guys. Yarn over, pull the loop through, 3, yarn over, 4, and 5, and 6. All right, your job is to keep going until you get to 33 chains, and I'll pop this on fast for you, okay? 7, 8, 30, 31, 32, and 33. All right, 33 chains. And what we're going to do now is we're going to work with half double crochets across. Some will be half double crochets here at first, and then we'll be doing half double crochets, chain 1 and skipping 1. All right, we'll do that nice and slowly. So yarn over your hook. Now we're going to be putting a half double crochet not into your first back bump or your second one because they're fairly tight, but into your next one. That's not the reason. We're going to pop it into your very third back bump. And you've got your yarn over your hook, you're skipping your 1, 2, and you're popping into your third back bump. Pull your loop through, 1, 2, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook, pop your stitch marker in there, If you are new to crochet, then my suggestion is you use a stitch marker, paper clip, piece of thread, whatever you've got in stock, okay, because this will be hard to catch later, okay. Now we're going to do the same. We're going to be putting half double crochets in your back bump for another 3 stitches. So yarn over your hook, into the back bump. Let's try that again. Into the back bump and pull the loop through. 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and that's your second one. Let's try it again, a bit closer. Yarn over your hook straight into that back bump right there, and you can see it right there sticking up. Into the back bump, pull the loop through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over your hook, pull through all 3 loops. 1, 2, 3, you've got 1 more. Yarn over your hook, into your back bump. Pull a loop through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, hold it there. This is where our pattern changes. Now you're going to chain 1, and you still put in your half doubles in your back bumps, but you are skipping 1 and jumping into the second one. All right, skip that first back bump, jump into your second one, and pop your half double crochet there. So you got a tiny little space, yeah? Chain 1, skip 1. Now it's starting to be a bit tight. If you loosen up your chain stitch, you can actually see those back bumps, yeah? So there's 1 and there's 1 right there, the second one. That's where we're going into with our half double. Chain 1, you're going to do the same all the way across. Skip 1. It's really, really tight here, the stitches. They're Mary stitches, that's what they're called. Skip 1, go into that tight stitch, the Mary stitch, with a half double crochet. I'm silly. Chain 1, skip, let's give it a stretch so you can see it, skipping 1, jumping into your second one. All right, that's it all the way across, okay? You will end up with 1 stitch left, and just wait for me there. And off we go. You've done your chain 1. It's going to give it a tug, make sure you don't miss any. Here's your first back bump right there. Can you see them? Nice close up. Mary stitch right there. And off we go, okay? Chain 1, we'll pop that on fast for you, and let's go. Chain 1, and you're jumping straight into your second last stitch there. Fairly tight this area, guys. Okay, now with your last chain, all you're doing, you're not chaining 1, all you're doing is popping a half double crochet in there. So pop your half double crochet into the top tight stitch there and complete it. Now you may have seen me struggling with mine, guys, but guess what? That was the only difficult row of the whole pattern. The rest is going to be easy, trust me. All right, going to be very easy now. Easy, easy. We are going to chain 1, turn your work like that. Now you can turn your work either way, just remain consistent, okay? From here, we're going to be popping a half double crochet in that same stitch that we are already in, and you know how to do a half double. Yarn over your hook, in the same stitch you're in, pull up your loop. 1, 2, 3. Yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook, hold it there. You now need another stitch marker. Let me get a bigger one. This one here is a lot more comfortable. Pull it through both the loops there and 1 on top, whichever suits you. Don't split the yarn like I have right there. Shh, don't tell anyone. It'll come back to me later. It'll come back to me. There you go. All right. So now we have 1 more half double crochet here before our chain space. I want you to pop a half double crochet in that stitch right there. Yes? And now you've got your space. In that space, you are doing a half double crochet right around the whole chain 1 space. Okay, so half double crochet around the space like so. And there you go. Now you chain 1. And you are skipping your half double crochet and doing your half double crochet in the chain space. So skip that half double crochet and do a half double crochet in the chain space, chain 1. And that is pretty much, my yarn's all over the place, the pattern across this row. Okay, into the next space, we're skipping it half double, chain 1, skip that half double into the space, chain 1, skip the half double into the space, chain 1, skip, half double, chain 1, skip, half double. Easy? Told you this row was going to be easier. Oh. The first row is always a struggle because you have to try and get it in those tight chains. And if you're anything like me, your chains will be extremely tight. Yeah? Hopefully you're not like me. Chain 1. Although in this kind of pattern, you don't want your chains too loose. Okay? It tends to sort itself out later. I'm having trouble with my yarn today, guys. Bear with me. Oh. All right. So the reason I stopped here is we did our half double crochet. Yeah. There's a chain 1 there that we've just done. We skip that half double crochet and we jump into the next space. After this space, we're not chaining 1. So just do your half double crochet and you should have your 1, 2, 3, 4 half double crochets. And this one's kind of attached here. So you're not going to do anything with that. You're going to pop your yarn over your hook and you're going to be putting half double crochets across these 4 stitches. So you're skipping there, all of that, jumping in to this half double crochet, doing a half double, 1, jump into the next, half double, 2, jump into your next, half double, 3, and guess what? Half double in that stitch marker stitch right there. All right, super easy. Now this side here, you're thinking has a lot, take out your stitch marker, has a lot of half doubles, whereas this side only has 2, because this is going to be the side we're popping a button on, and this will be the buttonhole side. All right, so now you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. Again, this is the last row, guys. Get excited. It's super easy. Half double in that very first stitch you did, right there. Oh, you don't need a stitch marker because it's the last row. Too cool, huh? Now, half double into your second one, half into your third, half into your fourth, hold it there, chain 1, skip that half double, jump into the space with a half double. All right, chain 1, skip into your half double space. All right, this is just mimicking the last row, chain 1 into the space. It's a little bit different towards the end because we've got less stitches, whoops, but chain 1 and half double all the way across until you get to the end. Chain 1, half double in the next space, chain 1. I'm really struggling with the yarn today, guys, bear with me. It gets caught on everything today, I don't know why. Okay, half double into the space, chain 1, skip, half double next space, chain 1, skip, half double next, chain 1, skip, half double next, chain 1, skip, half double next, chain 1, skip. And this is, I'll get you nice and close so you can see what's happening here. Half double into that space, chain 1, skip that one and half double into that space there. Yeah, and you're kind of only really going 1, 2 and 3 now. Okay, so 1, 2 and half double in that last stitch right there, 3. Pull a loop through, doesn't matter how big, I'm pulling a really large loop and it doesn't really matter, okay? You don't need to, that's a really big, you don't need that big. Sorry guys, you probably could have made it smaller. All right, so let's focus on the right side of your work. Now we did our chains this way and then we turned and came across this way. So that is going to be classified as the right side of your work. That's the side that you want your button to go on. But which end, I hear you ask? The one with the less the one with the less half double crochets is the area where your buttonhole is. The one with the most half double crochets where you pop your button. Okay, I hope that makes sense. You know, when we started off with our 4 half double crochets. So really, if you want to do yourself a little favor, just pop a stitch marker, it's too small, any stitch marker just around anywhere for now, because that's where your button is going to go, just for now. Grab your button and let's have a look-see at where we're going to put it, all right? This is the little button I'm using. You can use any button you like. Just make it big enough to get through these little gaps here. All right, if you can't get through these little gaps, then you know you're not going to be able to use it, yeah? And your button is going to go here where you've popped your stitch marker. You just need to grab some more cotton. Not much. You just need, I don't know, that much really. Not much at all. Give your cotton a cut. Grab your sewing needle, and of course I've picked up the wrong one. Doesn't matter. This is going to be hard to use, but don't worry about it. We'll work it out. Oh, it's not too bad. It went in. All right. So your button needs to go right there. So what we're going to do is take out your stitch marker, keeping it on the right side for now. Take out your stitch marker, and let's get a nice close-up. We're still on the right side. So what you have, oops, I'm not even in frame. What you have is your 4 stitches we started off with in the beginning, if you remember correctly, yeah? So you can pop your button, it doesn't matter which side, as long as you pop it kind of in the middle of a stitch. If you try to pop your thread through this little gap, it's just going to make a mess and not go anywhere, isn't it? All right, so you need to kind of pop it through a stitch somewhere. Don't split it, yeah, right? In between a stitch there. So you're popping your thread through. Now we haven't knotted anything here, so don't pop it all the way through, just like that. Leave a little tail right there and make sure you're only using one thread. This is just there to help you, guide you through, okay? So now you're going to go straight back into the opposite side, well, I'm sorry, the same side that you're in. We're going into it from the bottom part of your work. This is just a reassurance, just to tighten up that section a little bit. Don't pull it too tight though. Making sure you're not going through that tail at all, yeah? You're going like in a different section of the tail. Now you're going back into the same stitch you first created. You can, you know, you can go anywhere really. Pop your needle through, right through, making sure everything's tugged into place. Grabbing your button. Now mine, I'm using a blue button because, well, young Stanley, as you know, was a blue. I keep calling him young, but he wasn't young. He was fairly old. As you know, he was a boy, so I'm using blue. That doesn't mean anything really. Oh, just pop that little thread through there, yeah? Then you go into your second hole. Now, if you've got a 4th hole, you need to work around that one as well. But I've only got 2 holes on my button, so there we go. It's so cute, this button. Oh, it's not working though. It doesn't want to work for me. Oh, here we go. All right, once you've got it through your second hole, you need to go right down into that bottom stitch again. Remember where we were before? Popping your needle in without pinning yourself like I nearly did. Popping your needle in, pulling it through, and it'll tighten up your button. Now hopefully you've popped your button in just the right spot. Once again, what are you going to do? This is a really small, it's got, the holes are relatively small. Let's get a close-up for you. They're relatively small, so I won't be able to pass my thread through too many times. So I'm only going to do it one more time. That's not the right one. Up the top, there we go, right up the top. It doesn't look like I'll be able to do it again, just the one time, yeah. And down the bottom last time. If your holes in the button are a lot bigger, you can go through twice. You can do another time. All right, so once you get it through, I'm just going to turn it over and just knot it. Don't take your needle out because you're going to need it to thread in. So you knot it once, tighten it up, and you knot it the second time. And then you grab your little thread here, and what we're going to do is just weave it in through some stitches at the back. Anywhere you like. I'm just going to go through a couple of stitches. Right behind the button though, don't make it visible. Yeah, go through some stitches. Oh, that's really tight, that one. One more time. I'm only going to do it twice because we've already knotted it once. Oh, I've knotted it twice actually. Okay, and there you go. This one here is done. We still have to weave the other side in because the other side, remember, we didn't pop a knot on the other side, did we? So we need to weave that in. That's not knotted, right? It was knotted a little bit when we tied it up around the last thread that we had. But to start with, it wasn't knotted. If I can get the thread to work. Oh, really tight because it's the wrong needle, guys. Try to use the right needle. I don't know what I've done with my other needle, but don't tell anyone. Okay, so once again, you find a place where you can weave in your thread right at the back so that you can't see it. Oh, it's very tight. Definitely not coming undone for sure. And go through another section just to be sure. If I can get it through, then, oh, it's so close. I'm sorry, guys. But there you go. So you're going to cut that right there. Okay. And we'll weave in these ends. I'm having a downer day because, you know, it is about our young Stanley. I keep calling him young, but he's not. It is all about our Stanley. And as you know, he's, my regulars would know this, he's since passed. So I guess it's a little bit, you know, I'm a little bit nervous about doing this, but there you go. As you do, guys, as you do. All right, so weaving in ends, very simple. Just find some thread somewhere to pop your needle through, making sure you can't see it from the front. So just pull that, oh, really tight. This is a problem with cotton. Cotton can get very tight, which is probably a good thing because it's not going to come undone. It won't come undone. There you go. And just finding some thread that you can actually split, yeah? So if you split the thread a bit at the back, remember it's at the back, no one's going to see it, and you can't tell anyway, look at that, you can't tell. So now once you get to a certain section where there's plenty of stitches, go through those stitches. Make sure you can't see the needle from the front, yeah? So just go through some stitches. There, you can go around if you like. I'm just going to go back the other way. We've already gone through and up and around, so let's just go back the other way and pull it through the stitches again. Before we do, check the front, make sure you can't see the needle, and off we go, and that's it. That's one thread right there. All right, and let's quickly grab the other really long thread. I don't know why I got you to leave such a long tail. Oh, wake up, Mary. The eye is too small on this needle, but there you go. It went through. Took a while, but it got there. All right, we're on our very last thread, making sure you're weaving your ends in. Let's brush that out a little bit. Whoops, I'm not even in frame. Making sure you're weaving your ends in on the wrong side, which is where you can't see your button, yeah? Just pop it through and split some stitch there like so, and off you go. And there, it's at the back. You can't see it in the front, and off you go. Now you're going to find some place, somewhere along where you can hide your tail. Make sure you can't see that. I thought that was a little bit loose, but anyway, not too bad. Okay, and I'm going to just run my frame, sorry guys, my needle through the base of that stitch there, like so. If you can hear some bubbling, that's my hard-boiled eggs boiling. Well, I've got to have lunch. Hey, I've got to eat lunch. There we go. Can't see the needle from the front. We have to have lunch. Lunch is really important. All right, so we are going to, I'm so naughty, aren't I, guys? To my newbies, I do apologise. To my regulars, you already know. All right, so there you go. Ooh, see that? I can see the needle right there, which means that thread will be noticeable. So just be wary. Yeah, even cheeky as I am, I still managed to find that mistake. So there you go. 2 mistakes in our tutorial today. You didn't see the first one because I adjusted it. I fixed it. I fixed it. All right, so there you go. Give it a cut. Just give it a tug so it's in place. And your Stanley friendship bracelet, I call it Stanley's bracelet, is now complete. All right, so thank you very much. There's a little bit of hair I'm saving for later. Thank you very much for watching today, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share and do all the wonderful things that you guys, well, pretty much already do for me. And in about another 10 or 15 seconds towards the end of this tutorial, you will see some footage of our Stanley who's since passed. All right, so if you are a little bit frightened of spiders, please look away now because he's that big. Okay, so thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to join us on our lives at Wednesday afternoons at 4 p.m. and Saturday mornings 10 a.m. at Melbourne, Australia time. That's going to stay the same for a little while. I'll let everyone know. Thank you again for joining us for Stanley's friendship bracelet. Look away now, trust me, if you are frightened. Ciao for now. Are you guys all waiting for me? You're sitting here playing with the spiders.
He's near my yarn. That's not good.
Something underneath him. It feels like he's like a growth.
That's not nice. Is he moving?
Probably a female.
No, he's trying to pretend like he's not there.
Yeah, I know, he's like,
You know what? We'll turn around and he'll be in his hole.